Hello my dear students, welcome to Karim's Biology. We knew that we have started the lesson Cell, its structure and function from 9th class biology, and in the previous session I have explained about the structure of cell membrane. In this session we are going to have a brief discussion on the functions of cell membrane. So let us enter into the topic.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
The first function of the cell membrane is it is going to define the shape and size of the cell. That means it provides a definite shape to semi-fluid contents of the cell. Children, you knew that in our body we have different types of cells: epithelial cells, red blood cells, sperm cells, female gametes, muscle cells, bone cells, nerve cells. And you have learnt in your 8th class that there is a diversity in the shape of the cells. And these different shapes of animal cells in particular, if it is a plant cell, the shape of the plant cell is defined by the cell wall. Whereas in animal cells, the outermost layer, which is cell membrane, is going to determine the shape of the cell. So that is the first function. What does it mean when the cell is in the shape? That means actually the shape of the cell is because of the semi-fluid contents of the cell. You know children, within the cell there is a jelly-like substance which is semi-fluid. It is not completely fluid like that of the water. It is a jelly-like substance, so it is called semi-fluid content because it also contains so many cell organelles. So the shape of the cell will be determined by the membrane that covers the jelly-like substance. Okay, so that's the first function of the cell membrane. So children, another function of the cell membrane is mechanical barrier. Children, you knew that there is cytoplasm. There is jelly-like substance present within the cell that is called cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm consists of so many important cell organelles, including nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria. Okay, so like that there are so many important cell organelles are there present in the cytoplasm, and cytoplasm is the site of all the biochemical activities occurring within the cell. That's why cytoplasm plays a crucial role in the survival of the cell. Hence, the cytoplasm must be protected from the outside environment. And that duty will be taken up by the cell membrane, because the cell membrane, it will act as, you can see over here that the cell membrane will act as a mechanical barrier so that the inner contents of the cytoplasm will be protected from the external environment. Okay, what is external environment? The environment or the surroundings of the cell. The surroundings of the cell may be intercellular space, or some other cells may be present, or some other microbes may also be present which are capable of entering into the cell and damaging the contents, right? That's why the cytoplasm will be protected by the cell membranes, as it acts as a mechanical barrier and it protects the inner contents of the cell. So that's about the second function of the cell membrane. Now let us see what is the other function. The most important function of the cell membrane of all the other functions is selective permeability. Okay, children, cell membrane plays a very important role in maintaining the composition and balance of substances in the cytoplasm. You knew that the cytoplasm is a heterogeneous material, and the cytoplasm maintains a particular balance and composition of different chemical constituents. If any disturbance occurs in the balance and composition of the chemical substances in the cytoplasm, that may be affecting the biochemical activities occurring in the cell. As a result, the cell may be at risk if the disturbance happens in the composition. So the cytoplasm must maintain this composition and the balance of substances without any disturbance. And do you know how the composition within the cytoplasm will be disturbed? It will be disturbed when any material from outside enters into the cytoplasm, or from cytoplasm if any material goes out of the cell, then the composition of the cytoplasm will be disturbed. That's the reason why it is very important to control the entry and exit of any material into the cell. Are you understanding my point? Okay children, then how the plasma membrane is going to do that job? The plasma membrane performs the job by only selecting some substances which are required in cytoplasm and allowing those substances into the cytoplasm. And if any poisonous substance is formed in the cytoplasm, that will be allowed out of the cell by the cell membrane. That's the reason why it is called selective permeability. That means that the plasma membrane selects the substance that has to enter into the cell, and it stops the other substances which are not required into the cell. For example, look at this animation. This is the plasma membrane or cell membrane, and you see there are some small structures. These are actually water molecules which are entering and exiting out of the cell, whereas these big round green colored structures, they are not allowed by plasma membrane in and out of. Is it not? That means the plasma membrane is selecting only these water molecules to enter in and out of the cell, whereas these big molecules, they may not be required in the cytoplasm. That's why it is not allowing them into the cytoplasm, and it is not allowing to exit the cytoplasm. Are you understanding my point? So this property of the plasma membrane to selectively allow the entry and exit of only a few substances is called selective permeability, or it is also called semi-permeability. Okay children, so that's another important, because sometimes even microbes can come here. Okay, a virus may come here, and if the plasma membrane allows the virus into the cell, that's going to cause damage to the cell. And there are some ions such as potassium, chloride, calcium. There may be some ions which may not be required in the cytoplasm. When those ions are there outside, if they are allowed into the cytoplasm, the composition of the cytoplasm may be disturbed. Children, remember that within the cytoplasm already certain chemicals are there, and if excessive chemicals from outside enter into the cytoplasm, the composition will be disturbed. That's the reason why the cell membrane is not going to allow all substances into the cytoplasm. Only selected few substances will be allowed into the cytoplasm, and only some of the substances will be allowed to go out of the cytoplasm. Understood? So this property of cell membrane is called selective permeability, and about this property of selective permeability you are going to learn in detail in your 4th lesson. Okay children, what is the next function? The next function is endocytosis. Okay, the name itself is indicating endo means inside, cyto means cell. When something goes into the cell, that's called endocytosis. But what is that something? Is it ion or water molecules? No. The smaller molecules, they can enter into the cell through the plasma membrane very easily, but some of the molecules such as food particles, when they have to enter into the cell, they may not simply go through the plasma membrane or cell membrane. Then this property of endocytosis will be useful to the cell. So let us discuss what is this endocytosis. The flexibility of the membrane that enables the cell to engulf food and other substances from its external environment is called endocytosis. Flexibility of the cell membrane. Children, I already told you that the cell membrane is flexible because it consists of lipid bilayer and some of the proteins are embedded in that nature. Flexible in a sense that the cell membrane can bend but will not be broken. So this flexibility of the cell membrane, it enables the cell to engulf the food and other substances or foreign particles. Engulf means swallowing. Okay, so the cell, when it wants to engulf any other substance or foreign particles into it, then this flexibility of cell membrane is much useful to the cell. Okay, this phenomenon is called endocytosis. For example, amoeba acquires its food by this process. Children, let me explain this endocytosis. You see, this yellow color layer is the plasma membrane, and this is one of the solid particle. Okay, if the particle is very small, simply it can pass through the cell membrane into the cytoplasm. But in this case, the size of the solid particle is bigger, so it is difficult for this particle to simply pass through the membrane into the cytoplasm. And then what happens during that time, if the cell wants to take the food particle into it, then it will form some projections like this, and slowly the food particle will be encircled by this plasma membrane, and eventually they fuse together like this, and gradually this food particle will be taken into the cytoplasm in the form of a food vacuole. This can be best explained in amoeba when it is taking its food. Look at this footage here. In this footage you can clearly see this is the food particle. These are the pseudopodia formed by the amoeba, and it is engulfing the food particle, right? And the pseudopodia are forming because the cell membrane is flexible. If the cell membrane is not flexible, it would have broken, is it not? but it is not broken. That's why the flexibility of this cell membrane is enabling or helping amoeba to form the pseudopodia and then engulfing the food particle, right? So this property is called endocytosis. Okay children, so this is another function of the cell membrane, and the other function of cell membrane is flow of information. Cell membrane provide way for the flow of information amongst different cells of the organism. For example, you knew about neurons. Neurons, they pass information from one nerve cell to other nerve cell in the form of nerve impulses or in the form of chemical substances. And for the passage of this information, this cell membrane plays a crucial role. And about the details of how the messages will be sent from one cell to other, you will be learning in your 10th class. Okay, and other function is specialization. Plasma membrane gets modified to perform different functions. For example, we have digestive system, and within the digestive system there is a part which is called small intestine. The food that you eat will come into stomach, from there it will go to small intestine. Within the small intestine, the large particles of the food will be broken down into small particles which can be absorbed into the blood and can be supplied to all the cells of the body. Okay, and within this small intestine there are some finger like projections present. So this is the inner side of the small intestine where some finger like projections are present. They are called villi or microvilli. So the villi will be covered with a thin layer of epithelium. The cells, so this is the epithelium, okay, and these are microvilli. This epithelium consists of cell membrane, and the cell membrane is so modified in this epithelial cells of the microvilli so that it is able to absorb the food material, or it is able to transport the digested contents of the food from the lumen of the intestine into the bloodstream. Okay children, into the villi. Okay children, so this is other function of the plasma membrane. Okay children, that's all for today. I hope that you have understood different functions of plasma membrane. In my next session, I will explain about the structure and function of cell wall in plant cell. Okay children, I will meet you in my next session.